This city is missing one thing: a massive car-dependent shopping center designed to make people spend as much money as possible. And in true North American fashion, that means big box retail, endless parking, residential nearby, and just enough attractions to keep everyone trapped. So today we're going to take this empty coastline and turn it into a North American shopping machine. Now before we build anything, we've got a pretty big problem. Traffic is currently a nightmare, and the new district is only going to make this worse. In fact, we can't even deal with our trash over here, and that is making people sick, and if we don't do anything about this, the entire city is going to collapse. I have a much bigger plan to deal with traffic in general, but so we can build out our brand new shopping center district, we are going to have to make a few fixes. The major fix that we're going to make is with our landfill. Right now, the city as a whole is producing 613 tons of garbage every single month. And looking at our tiny little landfill, it only has the ability to process 113 tons, and our storage is nowhere near enough. We only have 4 out of 20 vehicles actually collecting garbage. We could add the hazardous waste collection point, but this only boosts your processing capacity by 20 tons per month. So if my napkin math checks out, we would need about 50 of them. And there's no way we're fitting 50 of these anywhere near here. So we're going to unlock the recycling center, and we're basically forced to consolidate all of our waste management over here. And now all we have to do is provide a few access roads. And just look at all of those trucks go. It's honestly kind of crazy. We're processing 1,700 tons of garbage, and this is going to stop people from getting sick and from dying. But because our traffic is so bad, those recycling trucks are never going to make it through here on time. So on Noble Island, we are going to place in the waste collection center. There's only one spot that we can do this, and that's right here. It's all just based on where the wind is going to blow. This is the densest area, so we are going to give it the upgrade right away. And we'll set this to only operate in this district. Because our shopping center is going to be on this road, we are going to do a couple quick fixes to this intersection. To start off with, we're going to upgrade this entire road to be a 4-lane two-way highway. We'll downgrade this section to be 4 lanes. Let's create some free-flowing branching movements. Now all we're missing is a bit of lane mathematics. This is going to be 6 lanes. And as we go, we're going to clean all of it up with Move It. Now with most of our problems gone, it's time to get our first asset in. So this was made by Civic Beaver. It's called the Beaverly Falls Premium Mall. It comes with 2 lovely boosts, a 4% attractiveness citywide, and a +5 well-being within 2 kilometers, which is exactly the setup we need if we're going to get people to spend as much money as possible. Now let me show you why this is not only the perfect American shopping mall, but also just one of the nicest assets in general. First of all, look at the water feature. This is next level. There's a Shake Shack here, and if you look at the walls, there's actually a bunch of beavers. You might notice a bunch of stores that you're familiar with, and in fact, you might actually notice the most important store of all. Do you see it? Because I do. This has got to be my favorite store in this entire plaza. Another thing, look at the parking. This has got to be the most perfect parking garage that I have ever seen. All I gotta say is Civic Beaver really outdid themselves with this one. So this mall is really where I want to bring everyone into. We'll have a few big box retail stores, but those are all going to be in a separate plaza. Before we get too into the road layout, I want to place a few buildings in, because that's really going to help us determine how our road layout is going to be. We're definitely going to need an IKEA, but I want to align this with the grid. And we'll worry about parking in a second. Next up, we're going to need a Walmart, because how could this be a North American shopping center without one? Temporarily, I'm just going to snap that right there. These do need to have quite a bit of space from each other, because it has to be car dependent too, right? Now, I want to get the mall connected into a road, and this building is a little bit interesting, because if you really wanted to, you could place an alleyway right there, and that'll satisfy the building's need for a road. Then all you'd have to do is take an alleyway, and then connect that right into the road, and there's one connection. I'm going to wrap this alleyway around. And now that we have all this extra space, we're going to need a really good American asset. And I think I've found the perfect American asset for this. Buc-ee's. This screams car-centric to me. Let's make sure we get both of these placed directly on the highway. If you're a car, you should be able to see this sign from a mile away. And Buc-ee's is going to pay good money to have that. I really don't want to funnel all of our traffic into this road, so I'm going to have this section terminate right here. So now we can funnel all of our beautiful customers into our shopping mall and into Buc-ee's. And now we just need to be able to funnel them into IKEA and Walmart. For the road that fronts IKEA, we definitely don't want sidewalks. It would be way too urban. So we'll swap that to an alleyway. We're going to need a massive amount of parking. Because I haven't done the road network yet, I'm starting to get a little bit lost on how this is all going to come together. But don't worry, I know exactly how to solve this. I want to use one of these bigger 4-lane boulevards. I want to stay about one full circle away from our shoreline. And now this is making everything a million times easier. We're going to send these connections into our main arterial. Because this road is a through road, we're going to upgrade it to a 4-lane. And of course, we're going to get rid of all these lights. We do not need them. This makes me realize that I may have spaced these out just a bit too far. And we're going to add a road that connects this street into these lots. Before we do that though, I need to know what our parking for Walmart is going to look like. Alright, now typically the rule of thumb for Walmart is that the parking is roughly the same length as the building. And the building is 16 units, which means we're going to need 16 units of parking. And I've done the math, and we have 924 parking spots. Now, if we're going to funnel customers in, then we need to connect our roads in. And we're going to need one high-capacity road. And we're going to have this curve just to slow drivers down. And just like that, we are good to go. So now we have Walmart, IKEA, Buc-ee's, and our beautiful premium mall. And we're getting closer to achieving that North American shopping dream, but we're still not there yet. There's a few more assets that I think we could place in. In order to place those in, we're gonna have to continue our 4-lane road. I wanna make a connection into our highway and into our main arterial, and that's because we're gonna need some room for Costco. Temporarily, I'm gonna place that in, just because I wanna know how wide this asset is. What I wanna do with Costco is I wanna make sure we have enough room in the back to create an entrance for trucks, because I'm sure that Costco is doing a whole bunch of loading and unloading at all times of the day. So by giving trucks their own entrance, it's going to help a lot. And actually, the asset calls for it. I really like how it does that. Let's just extend the surface all the way out. And we'll just add in one of these 2-way paths and get that connected into our main road. And then it looks like we have a pedestrian connection in the back. I want this asset to function, so we're going to have to connect it in. And now Costco has the same thing as Walmart, the same thing as IKEA, the same thing as Buc-ee's, and the same thing as the mall. They need a whole bunch of parking. They're not going to be happy without it, and they're definitely not going to set up shop. And because I know no one wants to watch 6 hours of parking, I went through and just finished it all, and it's all functional. Wait a minute. Alright, now it's functional. Yeah, we're gonna ignore that one. I don't want to do any more parking, but as you can see, it's really coming together. And something I'm always surprised of is how much space big box retail actually takes up. It is honestly kind of insane. Now before we can move on, we have to solve a few issues. Right now, to enter any of the store's lots, there's really only one connection or one road, and for emergency purposes, that's just not going to cut it. So I'm going to make an access road at the back of all of these buildings. It could be used for emergency services, or it could be used for an act of God. Let's say something crazy happens here, people still need a way out that doesn't funnel them all into the same road. My only issue is that this is going to become a preferred route, and most traffic is going to want to take it, so we can discourage that by adding stop signs. We can also add one more entrance for both Walmart and Costco. I've been hesitating to click play because we don't have any residents over here and we don't have any services. So let's get this solved. We're going to need a transformer station. All we're missing is sewage and water. And because the connection is already running underneath ground, All we have to do is make a few little points, and now we should have everything up and running. And truly, this is beautiful. 429 employees. I know we just fixed unemployment, and somehow it's 3.8%, but we're gonna have issues because there's no way we have enough citizens to work in all of these areas. And I created a district so we can see how many jobs these provide. It's 1,553. This might actually rival our industrial section. All of this industrial only provides 2,468 jobs. But come work at a shopping center, and we have another 1,500 jobs available. I need to buy this tile because I want to develop it. I didn't realize it was going to force us to buy the entire thing though. We can't build all of this shopping without having any residents, so I'm going to quickly build out a suburban grid right here. And here it is. Perfect suburbia, right near all of our perfect North American shopping. Now because we're going to need a whole bunch of workers and also a whole bunch of customers, this business is already struggling. Don't worry, mall. Soon you'll have too many customers. We're going to have to move a bit quicker on zoning, and I just want to start by removing all the zoning from the side streets, and then all we have to do is zone in a bunch of low-density residential. And we really want to make sure that we're doing our best to bring as many people into this area as possible. So this middle plot is going to serve as an elementary school. I'm going to use this path to act as a natural barrier. And now let's place the Fun Time Complex in, a large playground, and a basketball court. I'm going to set this to only operate in this district. And right, services, how could I forget? I was too focused on the shopping center and completely forgot about all the services. So to finish it off, I'm just going to spray in a whole bunch of trees. Oh no, Costco has not enough customers. Same thing with IKEA and our mall. Out of respect to Costco, we're going to place our medical clinic right across from it. And we do have an upgrade, but the odds are we don't need it. What we will need though is police service. So let's make a lot right here for the police station. We're going to use the Southwestern because it has a very similar feel to our mall. This building does have a second access point, and actually it has a few of them, so it can dump traffic right onto one of our most important roads. Amazing. Let's make sure it only operates in this district because I have a feeling they are going to go all the way to a different city. And yeah, they're going all the way down here. And wow, things are still looking quite rough. And the people who are supposed to be shopping and working in this area are dying. Let's place our crematorium right across from Walmart. I want to create an access road just for the crematorium, so temporarily we're going to snap it to that road. And we'll also provide a bit of parking, either for the employees or for the people coming to cremate their loved ones. And you shouldn't have to pay to cremate your loved ones, so no paying on the parking. Fire and police are both extremely noisy uses, so I'm going to place the Southwestern Fire Station right beside our police station. And as always, we're going to make sure we're giving this building a bunch of good access. We'll make this a one-lane, one-way, and then stub this off for future development. There's only a few more services we're missing. We won't be doing transit today, so that leaves us with mail, a high school, and garbage management. Let's do mail first because it's going to be the easiest. And we really don't want to dump any traffic onto these roads that are connecting into our highway. In the future, this will be transitioned into a 4-lane road, and it's going to serve as the main arterial, and we'll have a proper highway going through here. We also can't keep bundling up all of our services on the same roads. And finally, we need this post office to be somewhere central. So really that only leaves us with Olive Street. We'll set this to operate in this district only, and we'll add a few mailboxes. Now we're going to need a high school, and I really want to use the Southwestern High School. The only issue is we really don't have all that much room, and I also don't want to place this building on the waterfront. It just doesn't feel right. So we're going to have to do a bit of grid expansion. Let's take this 4-lane road, and we're going to send it down about 50 units. And now I want the back of our high school to have about 3 to 4 units of separation between the highway, and that's just so we have right of way. And now it's going to look odd if we just have a high school with nothing over here. So let's extend this road all the way out. I want to connect in at a 90, and we're going to pull that down about 40 units, and we'll create another suburban grid. Before that though, I want to grab the American football field, and this is honestly perfect because we can position it within the same lot as the high school. We don't need students crossing the road to be able to use it. We're going to use a one-way road to get this all connected in. And then just a bit of parking for all the parents and all the students and everyone who wants to come see the game. And you shouldn't have to pay to park to watch your child play football. Unless it's university, then you definitely should. And now I'm gonna quickly build out a suburban grid, get it all zoned in, and we'll move on to the next step. There is one thing that I think might help alleviate some of the traffic over here, but also it's gonna help funnel people into our new shopping area. We're gonna build a small little area right here to cross this side of the map. And so what we're gonna need is a one-way that branches off here, because this is America, and we're gonna make this complex for no reason. Let's actually make this a 5-lane asymmetric. On the opposite side, we're gonna have a one-way 2-lane road. One side is gonna branch off, so we'll need a 5-lane asymmetric here, and now we'll make that branching movement. The other side is gonna connect into our 4-lane, and now we are missing one movement. If you're coming down this road, how do you enter? And I've made all of this just a little bit too close. It would have been much easier if I did this movement first. So we're gonna transition this road into a 2-lane, and now we'll make a straight connection. Now we can flip around and take our 1-lane, add that in, and finally do all of our branching movements. All we have to do is remove all of this insanity. And now what we have is an overly complex rural interchange. I see these all the time in Ontario. And all that's left is to transition into our 4-lane highway. And now we need to connect this road into the other side. And we basically have two options. We can send it directly through. It makes the most sense, it would be the cheapest, but I really want to try to avoid that. So in my head, what I'm going to pretend is that there is a nice, giant, dense section of trees right here, and chopping them all down is just not worth the headache. Until someone gets into an accident, we're going to have an at-grade crossing, and we already have people using the road, nice. I want branching movements for each side. So now everything flows pretty cohesively. And this should have a pretty big impact, but that's only if people want to stay in this area. If they're using the new road as a shortcut, it's probably not going to turn out too great for them. Now, with all of our services in except for transit, we are ready to continue funneling more people into this area. And to do that, I have these Riverview apartments. They're medium density. It's exactly the type of thing that I want to see over here. So right on our main road, we're going to add in a few of these buildings. And we need the trip to the mall to be as easy as possible, so we'll add in a nice big path right in the middle. Right beside the post office, the medical clinic, and Costco, we'll add in one of these Easttown apartments. On the other side, let's have a few of the Sapphire buildings. And I know this isn't a Soviet city, but again, just look at the medium density, it's perfect. And you know what? I think that looks really good. Right behind all of this, let's have some of these retirement homes. At least that's what I like to pretend they are. And it's also perfect because if I'm considering these to be retirement homes, well, guess what? The medical clinic's right behind there. And something like that is gonna be perfect. And I really don't want to reuse the same assets, but this building is just too perfect. It's hard not to. I'm noticing we have a bunch of people parking on this road, and that has me concerned. Why are you parking on this road instead of just parking in one of these lots? What's the issue here? Where are these people going? All right, so you're going to the apartments all the way over here. Why not just park over here then? I'm gonna add a tiny bit more parking over here, and you shouldn't have to pay to park where you live. And hopefully that helps with some of the crazy pathfinding that I think is gonna be happening. We need more density because we still have... Okay, IKEA just went away. That's actually really good news. So we only have 2 out of 6 buildings left. I still want to stay medium density until we get to over here. These Romanian residential mediums are going to be perfect. And these aren't a perfect fit for our style, but as always, that's not going to be a problem. And now, this is a statement piece. This is an art project. This is me trying to cover up the fact that these buildings can't be recolored. And we really only need to do one side. Let's keep moving on. I'm a bit scared for our commercial demand, but somehow everything's fine. So we're gonna keep pushing forward and enter the next stage. I'm talking Whataburger, a White Castle, and of course, a McDonald's, of course. A big old gas station, and a Blockbuster even though they went bankrupt a long time ago. A bank so you can take your money out and spend it. And now for the rest of this, I'm just gonna fill it in with some Southwestern commercial. Now I don't know about you, but there's nothing more I love than getting my chemicals through a drive-thru. If I can't buy the GS5 from a drive-thru, I don't even want to buy it. What's the point? And wait a minute, Blockbuster is thick digital? I only have one question. Are you a man or a mountain? Digital! Alright, all of this is honestly looking amazing. Let's move on to our more dense section. And the biggest gatekeeper is, from what I've seen, mixed use tends to break demand, which means we're going to need to get a bunch of office in here. And the Brunswick corner, it's honestly perfect. Right where our zoning tiles break, that's where I'm going to place it in. We'll snap onto the side, and then I'm going to snap onto this alley. We'll send this down, and that's a little bit too close to our mall. And we'll stub this road off right here for now. This is only the start of our grid. There is one good connection I think we should make. That's from our parking garage into a road. It would be just a bit unnecessary to have to drive all the way down to our main road. And what is going on? Noise pollution from what? Interesting. Apparently the mall is a very heavy noise polluter. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but for some reason it just went down out of nowhere. Oh, now it's back up. Unfortunately, I'm just going to learn to ignore that. The strip mine office isn't the best fit for our main road, but by our mall, I think it's going to be a pretty solid fit, and it's going to help break up some of this monotony. Temporarily, I'm going to snap it to this road. We'll add a 2-lane, and now let's flip it around. And now we can use this to make a complex curve back into our road. And that right there is perfect. There is a few more access points, so let's get those connected in. And we really need some more homes here, but I really don't want to overpower our mall. The mall is the star. So let's place a few of the Cedar Residence buildings here, although most likely they're going to complain about noise pollution too. And come on, already complaining about noise pollution? Give me a break. I'm trying to feed the machine that is not enough customers. What if I give you some more trees in your backyard? I know that doesn't actually do anything, but can we pretend that it does so you can go away? Look at all those trees. You've got no reason to complain anymore. I want to use the Platinum Center because it's a perfect fit for this main road. So this is going to be the only mixed-use building that I will ever place. That is until demand is fixed. And we're going to start moving a little bit quicker here. Let's add in the Atrium Residence and the Brighton Condo Shore, another really nice building. It's going to be the tallest building in the city, so placement really matters to me. So we're going to quickly extend out all of our grid. And because this is going to be pretty dense, something like that is going to work perfectly. And this building is going to go directly in the middle, so right here should do the trick. It's going to need a whole bunch of parking, so we are going to spend $200,000 and $40,000 every single month on a multi-level parking building. We'll have the Korean slab type apartment. We've hit milestone 11, we're now a big city. We're pretty much out of all of our special buildings, so I'm just going to go through and place a bunch of medium density. And that's going to be all of our medium density for now. Things are starting to look a little bit more chaotic, so let's make a few adjustments. So the first adjustment we need to make is we need a local clinic. This is going to be a lot more valuable land though, and so we're not going to have anything too big. We're going to have a small little clinic right here, and we'll set this to only operate in this district. The next one is an elementary school, because I can guarantee that this tiny little elementary school all the way over here is, definitely not serving all of these people. So we're gonna need to find a spot that we can bulldoze for an elementary school. And I think right here is gonna be the perfect spot. Plus, it continues the wall-to-wall feeling that we're going for. Let's add on the adventure playground, just because it provides a small boost. And again, we're gonna set this to only operate in this district. This area has 5,142 households, so 8,000 to 9,000 residents. Our park coverage is pretty bad. So until we get to detailing, I'm just going to throw in a few of these pocket parks. And that's already made a really big difference. Let's have one more park right in the middle of all this parking. And at least this land is being used for positive things. Now it seems like most of the service-related issues have calmed down. The next big issue is traffic. If I had to guess, most of this is just people moving in, but the one way that I'm going to help is by turning this into a 5-lane asymmetrical, and I want the left turning lane to be its own dedicated lane. And just like that right there, that is exactly what I wanted. In the city, it looks like things have already calmed down except for right here. On our main road, we're not going to have any traffic lights. Instead, every single road connecting into our main road is now a stop. And there we go. Now that's going to help traffic flow way more smoothly. How does traffic look down here? And wow, it is crazy. So it looks like next time we're really going to have to solve this. Now all of the businesses except for IKEA are fine. This is the only one that has a problem. In time, I'm hoping that will go away. Now there's one more thing that I'm going to quickly do. If we don't expand our suburbs, this is going to look incomplete. So with the power of editing, the suburbs are now expanded, and it's all the same principles that we already followed to create the other ones. Alright, now when we take a look to see how many people are here, we have 10,280 people, and only 3,260 employees. And unemployment is rising again. But that's fine because look at all these amazing places that you guys can shop. We are going to need a few parks though, so let's add one right here. And then over here we'll have one giant playground, tennis, and basketball. And we'll connect all of this up with a nice little path. And even though our park coverage is solid green, I still think we can do just a little bit better. And we'll make sure to bulldoze some of these people's homes. And now looking at our demand, we have no commercial, we have no office, it's only industrial and residential. But that's perfectly fine because after this shopping district, you won't even need any more commercial. This will be the lifeline of the entire city. Now I'm sure there's something I'm probably forgetting, but considering that we're making $102,000 per hour, we have over 10,000 people in our brand new district, all of our shopping is set up, and all of our medium density is set up. I think it's time we do some detailing. And for detailing, there's only one thing that I want you to keep in mind. This would be a great place to live. If I can sell that, I win. Our monthly balance is now 2.5 million. Even though it's super car-centric, I would still live here. And honestly, I'm excited, because with the size of the city right now, it's starting to make way more sense to implement transit and a proper interstate. Before we wrap up, Civic Beaver told me to check out the asset at nighttime, and I gotta say, this is absolutely beautiful. It's stuff like this that really shows how much love and care goes into asset making. So everyone please show Civic Beaver some love. If you made it this far, I really do hope you enjoyed. Today's shoutouts go to Jake Hill, Aiden Fernalski, Henry Vopel, Gary Key, Michael Mills, Deku, Middleveen, Evan Aird, Justin, Seth Wilson 5465, Vortex Rim 1762, and to everyone else who supports the channel. Seriously, thank you. And I know the end card is still broken, I'm sorry. If you want sneak peeks, save files, and much more, you can join us over on Patreon or on YouTube. And other than that, I'll see you in the next one.